So today we're going to be talking about the cost center and the business unit feature of our Yearbooks app. To access our cost center and business unit feature, you can go to the sidebar and scroll down all the way to settings. In it, you will find the user preference page. In our user preference page, at the very end, you will find the cost center and business unit section, where you can enable your cost center feature and your business unit feature. Now you can enable them individually or you can do them together depending on what you want. So when you enable a cost center feature or a business unit feature, you will see a similar table show up. Now for a first timer, you will see something like this, an empty table, where you can add as many cost centers as you want, right? You have to make sure they're not duplicates, but you can add as many cost centers as you want. Let's say, I'm just going to add some random ones right now. And I can delete cost centers as well. Now I can also select one cost center to be my primary. This is an optional feature. What this does is when we enable our cost center and we save it, we will have two drop downs at the top of every page showing which cost center or business unit is right now selected. And those items or those values that are selected in those drop downs will filter out all pages of our Yearbooks account. So for example, if I choose HR as my primary, then whenever I log in, those dropdowns will be pre-selected to HR for cost center and it will already filter out all my pages according to that. Now, as you saw when I first enabled these features, my previous data is still showing up. That is because when you want, you can enable these features. When you want, you can disable these features and your data won't be lost until you manually delete these cost centers or business unit. Another thing to keep in mind is you cannot delete a cost center or a business unit that has already been used to create any one of your sales orders, invoices, returns, and XYZ. So here you can see a sample of cost center and business unit selected, right? I'm just going to go to this bottom page and save it. And as soon as I saved it, you can see on top we have two drop downs. Two drop downs that come up. We have cost center and business unit, and we can see that human resources and Pi Info Systems are selected already on these two drop downs. Though that is because my primary is human resources cost, and for business unit it is Pi Info Systems. If I want to make changes to my drop down, suppose I want to not have these selected, I can click on cross and now nothing is selected. If I want to select another cost center, I can just go scroll, select the one I want and make sure to apply your change. And now my whole data will be filtered based on my selected cost center. So how this thing works is, suppose I'm going to go to quotations and I'm going to go and create a quotation. Right now I have no cost center business unit selected. Right. Suppose I select HR for my cost center and IP details for my business unit. So now when I create a quotation in the most normal way I can, you can just select, I'm going to select product type. And now my quotation is done and I can save. Simply, I'm just going to save. In my view page, my data has been filtered out based on my cost center and my business unit. If I don't want it to be filtered out based on my cost center and my business unit, I can go here and I can see I have two new filters here because I enabled this feature, and I can just clear them out and all my data will come. When I scroll to the right hand corner, I can see that I have now two more fields of cost center and business unit with all my previous data. This is my old quotation saved for the old cost centers and business unit, which I had earlier selected. This is the recent one, which I just saved. Again, when I'm going to refresh, it's going to take my pre-filled data and it's going to filter out based on that. Now, here I can go, and when I go and edit, I will see that my cost center and business unit are locked. What I mean by that is, let's go ahead here to clear, and let's find one with a different cost center and business unit here. So if I edit this quotation, the old cost center and business unit that was used during the time I created the quotations will show up, and you cannot edit them. You can edit your quotation, but you cannot change your cost center and business unit. A similar thing you can see when you try to copy a quotation. It will pre-fill your cost center and business unit depending on your old quotation which you copied from. And if I try and create, 1 minute, if I go ahead and this is the one, right? If I go ahead and create a invoice for my quotation, I will see that my invoice page also has pre-filled my cost center and business unit, and I can just go ahead and save it. So each page, whether it's quotations, sales order, invoice, payment, record payment, any type of return, purchase order, purchase invoice, anything, each one of them will be will be filtered out based on the cost center and business unit you have chosen. Now, another thing is when I go to dashboard, my whole dashboard page will also be filtered out based on the cost center and business unit. So each payment, these details, payments, charts, everything will come based on this cost center and business unit that has been selected. I can cross them out and my whole page will refilter, and you can see a lot more data is now being shown because I have not filtered it based on cost center and business unit. Suppose I go and select just cost center. It will again filter out based on just those cost centers because we can have multiple combinations of cost center and business unit that you have chosen. So that's how the dashboard filters out. And we also have reports. In your sidebar, you can go down all the way to reports. And we have multiple reports here, from balance sheet to daybook to ledger to audit logs. Everything is being filtered out based on the cost center and business unit you have chosen. It will automatically be pre-filled to your filters. All you have to do is deselect it or clear it to get your original default um, data, or you can look at them by whichever cost center business unit you desire to do so. So that was our in general feature of cost center and business unit and how to utilize it in our Yearbooks app.